What's going on YouTube? It's your host Bruce GNT, and for today's video we're gonna go over Dr. Umar Johnson on the Bittersweet podcast. Haven't really heard this podcast. Seems like they're like a smaller group, but if you don't know him, he's pretty much a black activist that preaches black love, black everything. That's essentially what it is, and pan-africanism. And my feelings towards this dude is it's not weird. I think he's a little bit of a race baiter, a race hustler, and a bit of a charlatan. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he's a bit of a charlatan. Why? Where's the school at? They've been talking about this school since I was a kid. I'm 26. School still isn't here. Confused as to how. I think LeBron built his school faster than he did, and he started way before LeBron. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. He probably doesn't even like me much either, because he always preaches about like sticking with the black woman, only being with black women.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
I'm working on a snow bunny crisis self-treatment manual for black males. I'm working on a snow bunny crisis self-treatment manual for black men to help brothers who are suffering with the snow bunny crisis to free themselves.
And look, I'm equal opportunity when it comes to women. I really don't care. You can be black, white, tan, yellow, red, green, purple. Like if you fine and I want to talk to you, sure, So for him, I talk too much to the snow bunnies, so that's a big no for him. But this video, he talks about a lot, and I caught like a little bit of a snippet of it, and I was like, I gotta go over this, because I don't disagree hardcore with everything he says. Well, considering that I only watched like the part we're about to go over, like maybe like a minute, I don't disagree, but at the same time, he just spouts sometimes a lot of nonsense. But yeah, let's just jump right into it.
I wanted to talk to you about black love.
Yes.
I feel like there is a war between black men and black women.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of the dilemmas that get sent in from my listeners talk about, it's about women talking about struggling to find a man, struggling to date.
Struggling to find what kind of
To
man?
find a black man.
What kind of black man?
What do you mean, what kind of black man?
What kind of black man? Struggling to find what kind of black man?
Okay, let's talk about it.
Black men all in Australia.
No, we have.
So what kind of black men are you struggling to find? Are you struggling to find a millionaire? Are you struggling to find somebody who's 6'3" with a six-pack stomach?
No.
Are you struggling to find someone who can finance a European expensive materialistic lifestyle?
No.
What kind of black man are you struggling to find?
Let's talk about the culture in Australia versus the culture in America.
Yeah, even though he kind of, I don't know. Yeah, no, what he's saying is not wrong, because when you say you're struggling to find a black man, what do you mean? It's like, okay, there are black men just about everywhere. And yes, okay, that's Australia. That's a little bit different. But are you trying to say that there's no black men that you could find in Australia? I highly doubt that. Everyone's in that market where they're just like, yeah, dating just sucks. But then when you look at the criteria that people have for who they want to date and what they're looking for, it's like, okay, I can see why you're still single. This goes for men and women, because I've heard some men say some things where I'm just like, you're not going to find that out here, buddy. No, you're not. And I've definitely heard some women say things where it's just like, all right, so delusional. Cool. But look, yeah, he's not wrong. It depends, because if you're saying you're struggling to find a black man, but then there's black men out there that want you, you just don't want them. Is it really that you're not finding black men, or you're not finding black men that you want? So that's the real question.
It ain't that much different.
It is quite different. It is.
No, it's not.
It is. I think now we're being more influenced.
One of the biggest mistakes that I find in the diaspora is we swear we're so randomly different. As probably the most traveled African in the Western Hemisphere, we're not that significantly different.
No, but we
there
are.
Might be something new. No, we're not. No, we're not.
I don't think that
he's wrong on that. Yes, they are. Because if I don't know if he's just talking about specifically African people, but my family's from South America. We're black. We are different, and I don't like saying it, but it's the truth. One thing that we quite often say is that when we see like black Americans do or say certain things, to us and my family, we're kind of like, and like where my family's from in Guyana, they count that as being part of the West Indies. Yes, a lot of West Indian people look at that and kind of go, oh, that must be like a black American thing. So yeah, I think he's a little bit off base with that, because he's saying like, oh yeah, we're pretty much all the same. No, we're not. The things that we do, how we act, and how we carry ourselves are very different, and I've been to quite a few black countries, and I can tell you it's not the same as how it is in the US. So I guess he's trying to say that like the culture in itself is the same, but even still the way the mannerisms and how people act within those two cultures are within the many cultures that like have black people, they're just different. So I don't really know what he's trying to get at by saying no, it's all the same thing. It's really not.
I don't think black women. Okay, let's talk about it, because I'm getting dilemmas where women are talking about they're successful, they're in their careers, and they're looking for a decent guy. They're
What
not
is
asking.
decent?
They're not
Describe
asking
the
for a man
terms.
to earn triple the amount that he's
What is
earning.
decent? Give me 3 criteria for decent. I'm a psychologist. You must define the term. Give me 3 criteria for decent.
So he's emotionally intelligent.
Emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
Assuming she is as well.
Assuming she is as well.
Continue.
He is a provider. So he's able to, or he has a decent job. They are on
What
the same.
is a decent job?
He has-
Define the term.
He makes an amount that is in the same tax bracket as the woman. Let's just say that. The
Okay.
same tax bracket.
Okay.
Emotionally
Financial
intelligent.
equity.
Yes.
Okay.
I would just say he's a provider, he's nurturing, and he cares to build a family with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the
So that's what makes me think, okay, I think it's not so much an issue that they're not finding men. They're not finding the black men that they want. And look, you can have your criteria, you could have, your standards and everything like that. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna pass up on someone that wants you and you're just like, oh well, there's no one here, absolutely no one, then there's a whole crowd of guys in the back say, no, I'm all these things that you talked about, and you're like, well, I don't like you because you may not be cute. And it's like, so what is it that you're really looking for? So I understand, I hate to give it to him, but I understand what he's talking about, because if you're saying that that's it, that if we take her for face value and she's saying that's it, that's all women are asking for, then it's like, you mean tell me you can't find out one black man that fits those 3 criteria? It's either there's, wherever you're at, it just has piss poor selection of just men in general, or you're not looking. It's something's off, because that's just a little weird.
question.
And the question is, women are struggling to find men that they can date.
Okay. Couple things. Number 1, black women cannot, shall not, should not expect a black man to be able to provide them with the same type of a lifestyle that a Caucasian can provide for the white female, because the Caucasian benefits from white privilege, the black man suffers from white racism. So we should not be, no sister should be looking for a European equivalent or an African equivalent of a European. A black man has to work twice as hard to get half as much. So although I can appreciate the financial equity, but if you are a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer as an African woman in Australia or America or the UK or Toronto or Johannesburg, looking for a black man who has financial equity with your type of career success, that's going to be difficult. You might got to tone it down a little bit. What I find as a therapist who works with couples, married, divorced, and otherwise, too often black women prioritize a man's income over his masculinity, meaning he can provide. He's willing to help with those children. He will nurture you, look out for you, but he might not be able to put you in a Mercedes. He might not be able to help you with that $1 million mortgage. And I've seen black women turn down good men, very good men, because he didn't have the economics, but he had everything else. Sisters need to be careful not to fall into this European narrative of judging men primarily by how much they make.
Yeah, a lot of that was kind of hard to listen to, because I don't like this whole victim mentality of, oh, they have white privilege. Oh, you got to work twice as hard to get half as much. I understand if we went over the numbers and went over the statistics. I understand that it shows that, yes, black or African-American men, especially in the U.S., I know the numbers for the U.S., we're under our white counterparts. But then that's only half the story, because white people are under the Asian counterparts, because I've looked up how much like each of the ethnicities or the races, whatever you want to call it, make like on average, and white people aren't at the top either. So we always have this thing where we're doing our white versus black, and it's like, yeah, but we're comparing ourselves to the wrong people. First of all, we shouldn't be comparing in the first place, because when you start looking at it like that, you start to almost think, okay, well, if I'm within this, if I'm this, i.e. black, I can't succeed because of my skin color, because the numbers say this. And it's like, that's not fundamentally true. You can't sit here and tell me that me being black within America, I can't make as much as my white counterparts. I have to heavily disagree because there's so many different factors and it depends on the context. You know, if are we basically saying that if we took two people, one white man, one black man, give them the same skill set and then put them in the same job, that the white person is just going to out earn the black person off principle, off the fact that they're just white? I can't believe that. Like, for instance, and I don't like using military so much, but that's what I know for, like, from 18 to 23 for 5 years. But that's like saying, okay, I made less than my white counterparts. No, I didn't. When you're at a certain rank, you make the same amount. So that's not true. Based off of what he said, by right, I should have been making less, and I wasn't. You know, after I got out, I still make more than some of my white counterparts in the jobs that they do when they're out, and some of them that's still in. So, and I'm not working twice as hard as them. I'm not. Like, I have a good job, you know, but I'm not working twice as hard as them. It's when you create this victim mindset and victim mentality within the black community, because we have a lot of that. Not saying that some of it is not warranted, but a lot of it comes from just automatically thinking, oh, I'm black, I can't do anything. And it's like, that's not inherently true. People hear this and they hear him being an established professional and they're going, okay, he knows what he's talking about, so this has to be true. We have black people that are in different fields that make as much and even more than the white I'm not going to say that there aren't cases where white people have privilege in a sense, sure, but to say that it works, to say out your mouth, to come out your mouth and just straight up say, you can't expect a black man to make as much as a white man because of, you know, white privilege. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what part of that is true? I know quite a few white people that I make more money than. Like, he's basically trying to say that if you're a black person in America, your cap is right here and everyone else's cap is up here. And it's like, that's not true. Like, where is he getting that from? Not because when you look at the averages, you see that black people make less than white people. That doesn't mean that you can't expect a black person to make just as much. It's just insane. That's part of the reason I don't really rock with him, because he says these things and he throws it as fact. And, you know, he's effing up the black women too, telling them, well, if you're making this much, you can't expect your man to be made. Who are you to put the limit on what someone can do and what they can achieve, especially when it comes to money making capabilities? That's just insane to me, you know. And also, it's like a small tidbit. It's like this narrative that's being pushed around that I don't know where it's coming from, but black women are just making all this money and then their male counterparts just aren't. And last time I checked it, maybe I got to check it again, I don't know, black men out earn black women by, I want to say, either $7,000, maybe $10,000. So where are all these black women that are just making all this much more money than black men? You know, and not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that, like, I feel like this is like, because even she said it and he's saying it too, is like, oh, all these black women just having all this money. It's like, where? How? And that's not doubting them, but it's just like, what's going on that, like, I don't know about, because it's just the whole thing is just weird. But I will say the last part that he did say about how he knows a lot of women that have passed up like good men because of his earning potential or just how much money he's making at that current point in time. Yeah, that's the true thing, because I've talked to those women, white and black, but even still, you know. And I'm not going to like spout off like red pill talking points, but it's a true thing. Women are just naturally hypergamous, so they look for men that do better than them. And I know this just from talking to women. You know, I talk to my homegirls. I talk to girl family members. Like, a lot of them, white, black, or indifferent, they want a man that's going to be better than them or on their level. That has nothing to do with race. Has nothing to do with the fact that, oh, well, you know, it's X, Y, and Z. No, it really doesn't. But yeah, no, he wild for saying that. Oh yeah, no. You can't expect a black man to make as much as a white man. What's wrong with you? What? Just straight goofy.
I can agree with that. I think that these are two extreme scenarios here, because I think if a man we're talking about financial equity, if he is making enough to build a household with you, to be a leader in the household, I think women are okay with that. I think that's not what they're getting. I think they're getting the other end of the spectrum. That's what we're hearing. You know what I mean?
Would you have a problem if you met a man who made half of what you made or a third of what you made, but he had a financial vision of an empire, a business, some sort of an entrepreneurial undertaking.
See, I think that's dangerous.
Stay with me.
I think that's dangerous.
Let me finish it, and then I want you to respond. And he needed you to help invest in his dream. And he gave you a definitive timeline. He said, give me 12 months or 24, no more than that. If you invest in me, I promise you what I'm going to build will equal where you are. Would you have a problem investing in him?
Hell yeah, you should. Yeah, you should. And I know I'm a man and I'm saying this, but still, I have female cousins, I have female family members, and they come to me for advice, and I will damn sure tell them, yeah, that mofo's a bum. He's a bum. Yeah, like, I need you just to invest in me. It sounds like a pyramid scheme, like you're trying to pitch something to me. Bro, I'm here to, like if the roles were reversed and a woman is coming to me telling me that, I'm like, okay, whatever your journey is, whatever you're going through right now, you need to do that by yourself. I'm not here to invest in you. And like, what are you trying to pitch to me or date me? What's happening? But no, based off of that, no woman, no man should be doing that. Like, it's either two situations I can really think of. And yes, I'm not a relationship. I shouldn't be giving relationship advice, and I'm not. But a lot of what I see as relationship advice is, I could be wrong, common fucking sense. And I just had to say this. When you're looking for a relationship and you're in that status or that lane or whatever the hell you want to call that, two things. Either you find someone and you build with, all right, meaning you ain't got crap, she ain't got crap. All right, let's put our crap together and build. Either that, or you come in already like packaged and like ready to go. Okay, cool, boom. Like that, to me personally, that's the only two options that they have. You should be equally yoked, not just with earning potential, but just the direction that you're going and how you see yourself and your vision. You know, I'm not gonna be with a woman that, and this is not to insult any women that are in this like point in time in their life, I'm not gonna be with a woman that doesn't have anything going for herself. Okay, cool. You have something that you're working towards, let's just say nursing school, or you're currently in college and you're like that much closer to getting your degree. And not to say I'm gonna base my wanted to be with you off of that, but I'm just using this as an example. Yeah, okay, that's fine, but not that you have concepts of a plan and you're pretty much just like, oh yeah, you know, if you give me this much time, I promise you, like the money that you pour into me, yeah, no, I've been there, done that. I'm not gonna do that again. No, I'm okay. And even if I haven't done that, just like me being wiser now, just knowing myself now, just being better understood when it comes to like relationships and dating, no, I'm not doing that. Because no, you have to focus on your money and your dream before you decide to focus on relationship, because that in itself is a job, you know. And I would tell women too, like, don't wait a whole year for this guy to hurry and get up on his feet. I'm not saying that you need to have a guy that's gonna have all this money, all this bread and everything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But if he's telling you, oh, don't worry, like, you know, I hope he's not saying to women to give men like that money. I hope that's not what he's saying. I'll click it to see, you know, what else he's trying to say. But, oh, well, don't worry, you know, in a year's time, I'm going to have, you know, myself set. It's going to be this, that, and the third. No. There is no time limit. There is no, oh, don't worry, I got you. No. That's how a lot of women end up in situations where they have a dude sleep on the couch and he not paying no bills. Or, you know, they giving him money to put down on a car because it's really part of his dream. And they're just like, damn, you know, baby, I thought you said you're going to have this. And he's like, no, I got you. No, I would confidently tell women, don't do that. No. If he don't have himself together, maybe two things. Either he should work on getting himself together, or he should find someone that's on his level and they could get themselves together. That's all I had to say. I hope he's not saying to women to, you know, help this guy out, give him money. Because first of all, I don't think you should be asking anyone for money. I've never asked anyone for money. That's just not me, you know. And nothing against women. I damn sure don't ask women for money, you know, because it's not my bag. It makes me feel uncomfortable, honestly. And I've had quite a few people ask me for money, and there's no issue with that. You know, I understand people go through times, and for me, when people ask me for money, I say like, hey, look, you don't gotta worry about paying me this back. Like, when I give people money, I'm already in my mind, you know what, this money's gone. If I have it, that's why I'm giving it to you, you know. But I hope he's not saying, yeah, you know, just you know, spot him a little bit. No.
What does investing in him mean?
Let's say he needed $700 a month to help fuel this dream. He needed $700 for 24 months. Could you do it? You're reluctant.
I
Tell
am
me why you're
reluctant. I am
Tell me why.
reluctant.
No. 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 Get the money yourself, or like, figure the fuck out. Like I had a feeling that's what he was saying, but I was like, I want to be sure. What are you talking? Like, hey, babe, I need just $700. You want to know why he said that? Because this scamming ass don't have the money, don't have the results for the money that people been giving him. Like, yeah, don't worry, just give me a little bit of time. The school is gonna be up and running. That's why he's saying that. That's why he think like that. I don't think people read it in between the lines. They're not reading in between the lines. That's exactly what he's saying. He's trying to give people hope. Like, hey, look, I need this little bit of money for the school, and don't worry, it's gonna be up and running. It's been years, bro. It's been years. We're waiting. These kids done hit college already. You have a university too?
Because what's the guarantee?
There is no guarantees in love. There is no guarantees in romance.
And
If
also,
you need a
I think
guarantee, you
I
can't
think
get in it.
context.
Yeah, like I said, nah, he a charlatan. He a whole scam. He a whole scam. There's no guarantee. Bro, I'm telling you right now, if he don't come out with this school within the next 5 or so years, bro, I'm gonna play this video and be like, yeah, he told y'all his plan. There's no guarantee. You know, he said it right here. He said it right here. You can't tell me this isn't related to the school. You can't tell me that.
Context matters. How long have we been together?
I agree.
You know, if it's just a guy that I met last year and all of a sudden he has these dreams and
No,
he wants
y'all
me
been
to
dating
fund
for
it.
about 2 years. You like him. There might even be some love there. And he's saying
There might be
invest
some
in
love
me.
there is crazy. There has to be some love there.
Let's say there
has
is.
to be a future there. And I think that's what I'm saying. Context matters. If I see myself with
But
this
you didn't
man,
answer the question. Let's say
Yeah.
all those things are there. Will you financially invest in him? Be honest, my queen.
Him and this pandering too. Yeah, look, I would advise just anyone. Like I said, I'm not a relationship coach or anything like that. I would advise. I would tell women like how I would tell my female cousins, my younger female cousins about situations like this. No, don't do that. That man's not your husband. A whole 6 months from now, it could be done, and all of a sudden, you put all this money. And I say that because I was in that situation before. I'm a type person. I'm not gonna say how much I make because no one needs to be watching my pockets. But I've given women that I've dated like thousands of dollars before because I'm like, look, I believe in you and everything like that. And yeah, I'm single now, so see how that turned out. But even still, it wasn't anything that hurt me. It was just like, hey, look, I got the money. This is what it is, So yeah, but no, I would tell anyone, man or woman, to not do that because you're not my wife. We don't have like we're not invested in this together. Yes, okay, dating for 2 years, 5 years, I don't care. Once you're married, you have that legitimized. Okay, we're in this together, ride or die. That's it. So if it's not that, no. Yeah, and you shouldn't be asking your significant other for like seed money to help you get on your feet. Like, you should be doing this on your own. Like, and I don't want to have this mindset of okay, you're a man, do it all on your own. But we have to be honest with ourselves and say, yes, as a man, for the most part, you should be doing it on your own. You shouldn't be asking your woman for money to get yourself started. No, you should already have that set in place or grind to get there so you don't have to ask anybody for it. That's just how I see that. I mean, maybe I'm off base. Maybe I'm out of touch.
They already answered for you. They said hell to the nizzo.
Yeah. Look.
Why not, though? Why do you have a problem with that? Given the atmosphere of racism and economic oppression that black men suffer in Australia, why would you have a problem
But what are black
investing
men
in your
subject
king?
to that women are not?
This is what I'm talking about. The same like victim mentality, like oppression Olympics type bullshit. What economic oppression are black people going through right now? Like what? Like are we banned from getting certain jobs now? I didn't know that was a thing. Like, what's happening? I got my job like a little while ago. Like, did I squeak through or some shit? Like what? Like I don't understand when people have these narratives and they try to tell and spread this news out to the people, especially these young minds, and they're telling them, oh well, all this economic oppression that we're going. How are we economically oppressed? I went to the mall of Georgia, or was it Lenox Mall? One of those malls right there, and look, I ain't trying to call out my people or anything like that, but you gotta keep it a buck. The people I saw in those like high end like fashion stores black people. So if we're economically oppressed, and yeah, okay, that's anecdotal. That's like a little jokey joke, sure. But wait, how we? First of all, everyone's economically oppressed because it's rough out here for everyone. Trust me, white, black, Asian, doesn't matter. It's rough out here for everyone. But I'm still trying to figure out what economic oppressions are we going through. Well, if you want to talk about other things, sure, but economic oppressions that we are currently going through, like what? And for me personally, my go-to, especially for like young men nowadays too, join the military. Join the military. You'll be good. You'll be good. You'll get paid the exact same as everyone else per that rank. So, yeah. But if anyone could help me understand what economic oppressions we're going through, we could have a dialogue. We could talk about it.
We're going through the same thing.
True, but it operates differently. The racism against black men is significantly more aggressive than the racism against black women. Now, I don't want to get into an oppression Olympics because I agree with you. We all suffer and we suffer together. But a man's primary responsibility is to be a provider. And we don't feel adequate as men when we can't provide. So your king, who you love, who you've been dating for 2 or 3 years, is saying, baby, invest in me for these 18 to 24 months. And I promise you I will cross that finish line. You're still reluctant.
I'm reluctant. I'm reluctant. As my husband, if we were.
Yeah, no, I don't understand what he's getting at, because how is it that you're in a relationship, your girl got the money, but you ain't got the money, so you gotta ask her for money? That don't make sense to me. What are you doing that you don't have the money? Why does she have the money and you don't? Like, explain that to me first, and then we could probably like continue and have the conversation, because what is going on that your lady has the money but you don't, and then you need her to give you the money? If not, you won't be able to have economic success. What world is he living in that this stuff is happening? You know, specifically to black men. I'm not saying it's not happening to anybody at all. What I'm saying specifically to black men, that racism is coming into play, that's stopping them from being able to get the same economic opportunities as, not just as like, you know, different colored skinned people, but as their own woman. Because if she has the money, I'm guessing that she has the economic opportunities that he doesn't have. So what is going on? Like, what's happening? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Were married and something like that happened, of course I would be open to doing that.
But would you be open to even marrying him if he was not the provider you needed him to be? He's saying, help me level up so I can become the person you want to marry. He's asking you to help.
I hate pausing it so much, but that's wild that I have to ask anyone to help me level up. Is either I got the skills to do it or not. There's no help me level up. And damn sure not asking my woman to help me level up. Not saying I'm looking down on her, but it's like, I got this. So how am I asking my woman to help me level up? Is it I could level up or not? One of the two. And if I can't, then maybe I'm looking at it a little bit weird. But if you need to ask someone for help to level up, maybe you just aren't there yet. And maybe you need to work on getting there so you can do it on your own. And I'm not saying that you can't ask for help, but especially when it comes to the monetary of, hey, I need some seed money so I can get myself to level up. Maybe I'm just not at that level yet, and I need to hurry up and grind and work on that. You know, like maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but it's just kind of wild to me. That's just crazy.
Help him level up.
I think.
Let me tell you why you're reluctant. And I don't have a problem with your reluctance, but I want to explain something.
Okay.
And I want all my young sisters to hear me. A big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow bunny will find a black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And that snow bunny will see a black man with potential, and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sisters see him 5 years ago, 5 years later, he's a millionaire, and the sisters say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many black women want a finished product.
Yeah, so it's funny when he says snow bunny, because he really puts the emphasis on that snow bunny. But no, that's some women in general. To put that on only white women and say that only white women will see a brother and then build them up, as opposed to black women that want a finished project. No, you find there's different levels between both of them. You'll find that there's some white women that want a guy that's finished product. You see some black women that's going to see a guy and then help build them up. But like I said before, why are we why are we talking about helping build up a man so he can do the things that he wants to do? He needs to be able to do that on his own for the most part. It's just, your brother's wild. He's wild because he's throwing out these narratives and saying, like, he's drawing a hard line in the sand saying this is what it is. And it's like, that's not 100% true. I mean, obviously nothing's going to be 100% true, but it's just kind of crazy. Honestly, I'm going to give this like 3 more minutes because hearing him kind of, I don't know, it's a lot.
Black women have to stay with me. Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up.
What?
Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny done snatched him already.
So 2 things about that. One, how does he know what snow bunnies be doing with black men? Because he don't date snow bunnies, and if he does, he a whole yeah. But I'm interested in how he knows that. How do you know that? It's like he's very in depth with knowing that. But whole nother topic. Yeah, no. There's so much I could say about that, but because there's definitely like a little nugget of truth in what he just said about how, sometimes black women look at a black man and see him with a white woman, they kind of go, oh, well, he traded up, or oh, he is a he's a sellout or whatever, because I have my own experiences with that. I'll talk about that in another video. But it's not what the young lady was saying. It's not true. That's not 100% true. I've met a lot of white women that they want you to have the whole 9. They say if you don't got X, Y, and Z, boom, you can't talk to me. And I've met white women that are the complete opposite. I met black women that are like, look, I don't mind building with you, baby. I've actually had more black women say that than the opposite, but apparently to him that's not true. I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. But yeah, that honestly, that's about all I have for Dr. Umar, because him and his peace and pan-africanism, it can get kind of a lot, and then a lot of what he says it's just foolishness, in my personal opinion. It's just foolishness. And there's too much surrounding him where I just look at it, I'm just like, I don't think people should be listening to him. It's mostly black women that listen to him, honestly. And yeah, this is a guy that the community is looking to him as a leader, and he doesn't even have his own house in order. That's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Leave a comment, subscribe, and really open up some dialogue with this. But yeah, talk to you later. Peace.